What is up, YouTube? It is Psychedelic Scizor, and I am finally back to YouTube for the first time in Gen 8. I just didn't really have much that I really felt like uploading. I did do an NPL season, but that season was kind of atrocious, so it would have probably killed me trying to record it. But anyway, we are here with my favorite league. We are in Red, Season 9. We've moved up to the Yellow Division, which is kind of like the Majors. Well, in theory, Yellow and Blue are Majors and Minors, but really looking at this season, they're pretty much about equal, I'd say. But I finally moved up to Yellow, and I drafted myself a really interesting team. I will start right now by just addressing this. Yeah, I pretty much blatantly tried to redraft my Summer Showdown team, which was just so much fun. And I had so much success with it that I figured, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that goes right into what I got with my first pick. I was 4th in the draft, 14-person draft, so decent first pick. I mean, I can't complain about 4 too much. I got Victini with the first overall pick. 18 points. It got buffed this gen, not really with any moveset additions, but just the addition of heavy-duty boots, along with some other tech items that I have plans for. But heavy-duty boots is just such a big one, because Victini has such good natural bulk, and it really wants to come in a lot, and it can because of its natural bulk. It can come in on fairies and psychics and stuff like that, and then start firing off powerful V-creates or blue flares or stuff like that. And now that it has boots and it's not chipped down by stealth rocks, it is just able to do that so much better. But Victini has so many options. It can go fast with Flame Charge, it can go slow with Trick Room. It does have Calm Mind, right? Wait a second, am I stupid? Oh, it doesn't get Calm Mind, never mind. Actually, that'd be really good if it got Calm Mind, so I don't know what I was thinking there. But same as Victini always was, just coverage out the ass, which is really valuable given, no more hidden powers anymore. I guess I should say about this draft, this was National Dex draft, no megas, and it's pre-DLC, so no DLC moves or anything. So stuff like Tapu Koko doesn't get Play Rough or stuff like that. But yeah, Victini, coverage out the ass, utility in U-turn, taunt, toxic, Willow, stuff like that. You can do anything with Victini, but of course the biggest thing you're going to do with it is you're going to kill shit. Base 100 attacking stats is not amazing, but it has really strong stabs, and it's got really strong stabs and really good coverage to boot. I mean, it can basically hit whatever switches into it super effectively, almost guaranteed. Like, it doesn't need HP Ice because it's got Glaciate and, stuff like that. I was trying to look up where it was on Showdown, and I realized you guys aren't seeing Showdown. I actually made graphics. Hope they look good. My next pick was Greninja. Round 2 Greninja, personally, I think a little early. I know it happens a lot, but since it was the very end of the second round, and I really wanted to get this Mon, I got Greninja. Having that really high speeds here, really important to me. Another U-turner, strong special attacker, has physical attacking options. You know what Greninja does, lays down spikes. Pretty standard Mon, but it kind of anchors this team as far as speed. Like, it gives me that, fast Mon, keeps stuff from running, like Adamant and Jolly and stuff like that. Or, Adamant and Jolly, Adamant and Modest. Man, I haven't recorded in a while, I'm bad at this. Of course it's just Torrent, no Protean, no Battle Bond. But I feel like there's not a lot to talk about with Greninja, because I don't really think it got any moveset buffs, and it was a pretty straightforward Mon before. It pivots, it spikes, T-spikes, has some decent coverage, dual stabs are good. It's just a good Mon. It's just a nice anchor to the team, and I thought it was worth reaching just a little bit to get it. That's about that on Greninja. Third pick. Now, if Garchomp was around, I was getting Garchomp second round, but that got drafted, so I went Greninja second round, and I got Landorus and Incarnate third round. Now it's only Sand Force, no Sheer Force, because that's super strong. Whether it's broken or not, I still haven't really decided, and I've had like 2 generations to think about it, and I still don't know. But Landorus Incarnate, really good mon. I think it is a fantastic Stealth Rocker because of the speed and just the offensive pressure it puts out. I think it is a good defogger if it needs to be, for the same reasons. But of course, that's not this thing's main role. Its main role is killing shit. Really strong, obviously. Gets great special coverage. 115 special attack is good. Not quite as good without the Sheer Force Life Orb option, but it's still plenty strong on its own. And the physical attack is even higher, so you can, you can run the typical Lando T sets. You can run Sword Stance, Earthquake, Stone Edge, that kind of shit. It doesn't even have Hidden Power Flying anymore, though, so it doesn't have any flying move that can hit in one turn. It's got Fly, and that's probably about it. Yeah, I think it's just Fly. But, really good bond, does get varied setup. I always forget that it gets Bulk Up, but it does. Calm Mind, ignore my phone. But I thought it was a really good replacement for Garchomp because I wanted it for a fast Stealth Rocker to put on offensive pressure that I can bring on offense teams and not give up any momentum. And it's another U-turner, so every mon can pivot right now, which is just fantastic. It's just a style I'm really comfortable with. Kind of redundant speed tier 101 with Victini's 100, but I'm not worried about that. Next, I picked up Hoopa Unbound. This was also picked up after Mimikyu was taken from me, but the more I look at it, I'm actually kind of glad that I got Hoopa instead of Mimikyu. It's kind of hard to compare them because they do very different things, but Hoopa, well, we know what Hoopa does. It kills shit. I said these other mons kill shit. Hoopa really kills shit. 160 base attack, 170 base special attack. It can also come in on, like, walls using special attacks, because it's got 130 base def, so it's, like, really not insanely hard to get it in. I'm not going to say you switch it in on everything, but you can switch it in on a lot of special attackers. The speed is 80, which is, it's fine. It is good for, I have my second Trick Room setter, and it's a good setter for itself. It can do that. I don't think it has any way to boost its speed anymore, because it doesn't have Z moves, but, you can Choice Scarf it, and, it's got its usual utility options. It's also got Taunt, Toxic, Nasty Plot, and Calm Mind. It's not really utility, it's setup, but you get the idea. Hoopa just kills shit, and it kind of fit really well with the team because I've got 3 U-turners already. They're going to force in walls, and then you U-turn out into Hoopa to destroy those walls. And that's pretty much it. Just have to look out for the base 60 defense. But speaking of defense, next pick, since there were no Megas, I couldn't get Mega Heracross, so I got Buzzwole. Buzzwole, just enormous attack and defense stats, 139 on each, 107 hit points. This, I think, is going to make a really good core with Hoopa. It can take all the physical attacks for it, Hoopa can take special attacks for it, and both of them are just going to destroy things. Some of the few checks to each other they can wear down, like Hoopa can definitely take out bulky dark types, or no, other way around. Buzzwole can take out bulky dark types for Hoopa, and Hoopa can kill psychic types for Buzzwole. No Trick Room on this, obviously, but Buzzwole is actually, I think, even better defensively because you can't just throw a random Hidden Power Flying on a physical mon anymore and just beat it that way. I mean, you have to have flying coverage for it, and you better hope it's special because this thing is just going to chew up a stray Acrobatics or Aerial Ace. And yeah, I am excited to use Buzzwole. I'm curious how it's going to compare to Heracross, because Heracross at least had some SPDF. Buzzwole, 53 SPDF is very frail, but with 107 hit points, it's not like it's absolute glass. Like, it doesn't take them very well, but, you know, it won't just fold immediately to a special attack that's, like, really weak. So that's at least good. My 6th pick, I moved on to my favorite Mon, my favorite Trick Room Mon, one of my favorite Mons in League in general. It's Stakataka. Just enormous attack stat, big attack stat, not enormous. Enormous defense stat, decent SPDF, and some of the most pathetic speed you've ever seen, which is exactly what you want on a Trick Room Mon. Still maintains that beast boost, it's another stealth rocker for me. Not that I'm going to run it very much, but the option is there, and there are some weeks where it makes sense to have a stealth rock Stakataka. But it is just such a self-sufficient Trick Room sweeper. It really does not need help. It is so hard to Oko this thing, and you can just run a berry on it because you can run an attack boosting nature if you have max attack. What is the nature? It is plus attack minus defense with only 14 EVs in defense. Your attack will be higher so that you'll get a plus attack nature, or not nature, but plus attack boost, beast boost. And it's kind of one-dimensional, but that doesn't stop it from being really successful. It's hard to stop rock stealing ground coverage. It really is. And turning defensive fairy types into setup fodder is really nice. Next, I picked up Lantern. Lantern, I'll be the first to say, I admit, I picked it up because it had Water Absorb, and with Dracovish in the league, I need Water Absorb. I initially thought that Buzzwole can take hits from it with its massive physical bulk. Yeah, it blows through even Buzzwole, so I need to have an immunity. So Lantern is it. Relatively bulky, low defensive stats, but massive HP ballooning it. Also gives me Volt Absorb. Gives me more pivoting, because pivoting into these breakers is going to be super important. Good coverage, utility and heal bell. Scald is always nice. And there could be some creative things I could bring with this. But Lantern is pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory on how it fits on the team. It's my water type, because Greninja is not a bulky water type. Next, I picked up Porygon Z. It is another Trick Room setter for me, but if you notice, 3 of my 4 Trick Room setters so far are not locked into Trick Room. They can also go fast, so it's really hard to prep against that, because you don't know, and I don't know if I'm going to go Trick Room or if I'm going to go fast. But Peasy, obviously 3 great abilities, all of them having their own uses. Adaptability, making your stab bonus stronger, download, giving you a +1 attack or special attack boost, and Analytic, giving you basically a life orb on the switch, or if you go last. It's got, varied setup, nasty plot, agility, Trick Room. I believe that's about it, but it's got pretty good special coverage too. And it's another pretty strong wall breaker. It's going to be really hard to stand up to this team for very long, because the average hacking stat is like well over 100 at this point in the draft. So that is awesome. Next, I picked up my last Trick Room setter. Also filled some typings that I needed. I got Alolan Exeggutor, Grass and Dragon. Got those checked off. Yeah, it's also super slow, base 45 speed. Like I said, final Trick Room setter. Pretty good. I'm not going to say mixed attacking stats. I mean, you can run physical. I don't think it gets Swords Dance or anything. Oh, wait a second, it does. Never mind, that might be a threat, but it's also got some utility. It's got, like, Stun Spore and Slate Powder. It's got screens and stuff like that. Like, it's got some interesting options, but mostly it is really good at setting up Trick Room, dropping Dracos and Leaf Storms and stuff like that. It can even explode, and its abilities, mildly useful. Frisk and Harvest, both decent abilities, not game-breaking, but hey, useful. And it's just bulky enough to function as my bulky grass type. If I need to take really strong ground hits, obviously I've got Buzzwole, so that's fine. And moving right along, my second to last pick, I got Wigglytuff. Covers my fairy type. Wigglytuff I've always been a fan of, even though it's kind of suboptimal, because it's got really good special coverage. It's got, and while there's niche uses for Cute Charm and Frisk, it's got competitive, which I really like. Boosting your special attack basically says, hey, don't bring webs versus me. But the reason I picked it up now, and a reason I always liked it to begin with, was it has huge wishes it can pass. It's got base 140 HP. Well, now it's got teleport with that, so it can get negative priority teleport to slow pass out into something, and I think that's really cool. I'm excited to try that out, but other than that, Wigglytuff is a kind of mediocre defensive mon. It can get it done. Can't hold up to super strong wall breakers, but I think I can handle just fine. Then finally, my last pick, I picked up Muck. I needed grounded poison, and this was the best available. 3 good abilities, Poison Touch probably being the best out of all of those, but does not get Toxic Spikes as much as I would love it to. But really good physical coverage, can set up with Curse, and it doesn't get dark moves either. It doesn't get knockoff, which is so annoying. I really wish it got knockoff, but good SpDef, good HP, good attack. It's not a useless 11th round pick. It's got some utility to it, but I feel like I kind of rushed the team. But it's at this point I don't need to really educate people on what these mons do. None of them are new, so you kind of know what all these do, and especially if you've watched me, you really know what these do, because these are some of my favorite mons. But that's about it. I will have videos coming out every week. Hopefully I'll get back into the swing of things and be a little less awkward, I guess, or just not used to doing this. So I'll get back into the swing of things. Now, if you guys like what you watched, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Do what you do with the YouTube videos. I'm gonna get on out of here and see you guys later.